Should we see color? So, this is a great topic. So, especially as a black person, because I hear that a lot, and I think it's very well meaning because I have a lot of white friends. And when I say a lot of white friends, I mean a lot of white friends. I went to Baylor for undergrad and A&M for med school, and University of Kentucky for residency, and I now live in Fort Worth. So, you're just gonna have a lot of white friends. That's just how it works. So, but sometimes I hear that, oh, I don't see color, and I'm like, yikes. Not yikes in a bad way, but it's like yikes as in you don't have, number one, you don't have to say that. Number two, I know what you mean. So what you mean is you are not trying to judge someone solely on one facet of their being, right? So you're what you're trying to say is, oh, I don't judge a person just because their skin is darker than mine. Yeah. The thing is, I do believe in taking everything into context, and so as a psychiatrist, we're literally trained to do that. Your gender, your sexual orientation, your race, your ethnicity, your location, your hygiene, your dress, your mannerisms, your accent, and literally everything that you can think of. I take that all into context when I'm helping someone. And socially, because we live in a racialized society, like it has been proven that black people make less money per hour depending on their gender, that women make less because of their gender, that black people pay more in interest rates for loans and different things. Apparently, according to an article in the New York Times, black people get audited more often than white people, right? So we live in a racialized society. Just go ahead and accept that that's the case. And so it is important to see color, quote unquote, in context. And so that's not to say you need to pity somebody. That's not to say that you need to overly coddle somebody. It's not to say that you need to give somebody an automatic pass through because of one race, one color or another. But it is to say you pay attention to it. It is relevant. And so, yeah, so I'm going to encourage you to, and if you're like, oh, but I don't know how to do that, then that's where I go, oh, take a class. I mean, literally, there's lots of folks out there, many of whom have like DEI certifications. I do not. I know enough to be dangerous, but this is the time where you step up and you say, you know what, let me learn more about it because, Brian Dixon only knows so much on his mental health office hours podcast. So, if this is your entree, then, go and Google DEI and look if there's any certifications or workshops in your area or just online, because I can guarantee you there are. And this is especially for my white friends and family. It is on you to do the work. It's not on the black person to do the work because they're already tired as it is. So just be very, very mindful of that. And yeah, see color, appreciate color. Like I'm and it's not training someone to be racist to see color. It is acknowledging our shared history, and that history sometimes is very tumultuous and deadly and not fun and very uncomfortable. But until we've all lived long enough and to for the cycles of all of these disparities to weed themselves out, then it's going to keep coming up. And I'm reminded of when I used to work at a camp, a children's camp, Texas Lions camp. It's great. If you're a lion, thank you for creating such a magical place for kids to go. And I remember I was working the camp for kids with diabetes and, throwing kids around the pool because that's what you do as a counselor. And one of the kids swam up to me and he said, Brian. And I was like, what's up? And he goes, oh, you're black. And I'm like, yeah. And he didn't think anything of it. I didn't think anything of it because to me, it was a learning opportunity because I didn't react one way or another other than to say, yep, let's keep having fun. And when it's time to get out the pool, you have to listen and follow directions. And I'm hoping that was a positive experience for him and that little white guy goes off to become a white dude and hopefully pays it forward with people that he's around and shares his experience. That would be ideal. But yeah, so the key is don't shy away. Things happen. You lean into it. You speak up. Was that a time where I needed to tell him about financial disparities and things like that? No. Was that a time for me to give him a lecture not to say something like that? No, not really. Because in this case, he wasn't doing it in a disparaging way. He was making an observation because he's eight, right? And apparently he's never really been around Black people before, and that's okay. I mean, now he has, mission accomplished, right? So yeah, so I do want you to see color. I want you to appreciate different colors, different backgrounds, different lived experiences. Again, I think the research has shown pretty overwhelmingly that a diverse group of people that you're working with brings more money into your company. It brings more stability because you just have lots of different types of thought. So, yes, see color in context.